get anything out of it. Here's Svechnikov. Svechnikov scores!
Hanifin away from McDavid. Draisaitl is there. Draisaitl to McDavid. McDavid shoots. Score! It's over!
Golden State is going to the finals for the 6th time in the last 8 years. Big night for Klay Thompson with 32.
Big night in sports ball last night. Golden State Warriors, did you hear that? 6 times in 8 years to the finals. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers cap off the Battle of Alberta. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast. What's interesting to see today? Like, rate, review, subscribe. You can see my beautiful face and my patchy beard on Spotify or on YouTube, whatever. This is America. You have the choice. You can decide what you want to do. We have this controversial Wednesday shit on Friday. That's exciting. I have a reading recommendation if you're a subscriber to the Wall Street Journal. If you're not, I guess you're screwed. But we're going to start today with the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs have won 18 games and lost 26. They're bad. They didn't sell. They sold assets. They traded a lot of their good players, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, etc. They traded those guys so that they could get assets for the future they rebuilt, which is stupid because then all of those guys promptly went to teams that were in the playoff race and in the playoffs, and they played out of their minds. And, hey, maybe if all those guys are on the same team, they'd be pretty good. Go figure. The reason that we're talking about them today is they lost a ball game yesterday to the Cincinnati Reds, who we said might be one of the worst teams of all time. Turns out they're not. They're 14-30. They're bad. They're not. Well, they're on pace to be borderline historically bad. We're talking about them because the Cubs lost the game 5 runs to 20 runs. Is this going to be a deep dive into Chicago baseball? No. We're just kicking this off to laugh at them. Baseball season, just care about it in the summer when we're really, really out of things to talk about. Care about it later. Care about baseball later. Their time is coming. It's NHL playoffs. It's NBA playoffs. Shall we get into the controversial Wednesday stuff? Sure. Here is a statement from the National Hockey League that I'm going to read to you. 2 days ago, the National Hockey League was advised of a lawsuit involving sexual allegations filed against 8 unnamed players of the 2018 Canadian World Junior Hockey Team. We were subsequently provided with the statement of claim containing allegations of behavior that is both abhorrent and reprehensible. We will endeavor to determine the underlying facts and to the extent this may involve players who are now in the NHL. We will determine what action, if any, will be appropriate. We will have no further comment at this time. That's bad. 8 guys in an unnamed lawsuit. So let's go to from CBC. The piece says the allegations were settled with Canada's 2017-2018 team. It was one person that accused 8 people, which is interesting. The Canadian World Junior Hockey roster. Think anybody good on that team? And has it been long enough for those prospects to work their way up the system? It sure has. I would say, as a Red Wings fan, there are 10 guys on this team that I would be incredibly pumped to have on my team. I'm not going to name any of them because I don't want to associate unfairly someone's name with this allegation because who knows, maybe their teammates really hate them for doing this. However, I will say just off the top of my head, and remember, I'm a big hockey fan. I'm not obsessed. I don't know everything about every person. That guy's been to the conference finals already. That guy's been to the conference finals already. That guy's been to the conference finals already. That guy's famous. 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 That guy's good. That guy's good. That guy might be the best player in the world. So we will keep an eye on that. Fun team sexual assault bonding from Team Canada. Perhaps alleged. And I don't know. I am of the mindset that settling sexual assault case means that you did it. That's, to me, that is borderline admission of guilt. But I don't know. I'm just a guy. Who's to say? All right, let's get into other stuff. Is it French Open time? It is French Open time. There's a new star in tennis. We've mentioned this person, Carlos Alcaraz. Just if you want to watch something and pay attention or want to sound smart, Alcaraz, like Alcaraz is the tennis player you like now. I'm just helping you out. That's the guy that you like. Okay, let's get into the playoff stuff. We got to get out of here. It's Friday, man. We got shit to do. We got places to be. It's Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy yourselves. I guess, let's start with the NBA. The NBA's blowout problem continues. There have been way more games decided by double digits than not. In the second half between Dallas and Golden State yesterday, Dallas outscored Golden State by 7 in the third quarter, and the fourth quarter was a tie. But they lost the first quarter by 5 and the second quarter by 12, making this irrelevant. So, whatever. Golden State kicks the shit out of Dallas 4-1. There really wasn't anything to complain about. We've got Game 6 of Boston and Miami tonight. I think the NBA rooting pretty hard for Boston versus Golden State, but who knows? I mean, who knows? The Warriors, 6 finals in 8 years. What can you say, man? It's one of the greatest basketball dynasties of all time. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry completely changed the game of basketball forever. And did they ruin it? No. Big men will eventually learn how to shoot threes, and then people who are bigger and better will make people like them irrelevant. That's how it always goes. Someone disrupts for their body type, and then big people learn how to do that, and then it's just better. That's the cycle. So, interesting thing about them, if you really want to sound smart with your friends, Golden State, prior to Kevin Durant getting there, and now, and well, of course, with Kevin Durant there, they're elite defensively. Of course, they've got the run and gun, the Splash Brothers, Klay and Steph. Draymond Green is like the most important player on the team. He's a great defender. They are and have always been under Steve Kerr with Steph. Steph is a ridiculous defender. He's one of the best defenders in the world. He gets no credit for it. He should have won. One of the years he won MVP, he should have also won Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just a guy, and I don't watch that much. But statistically, it's amazing. So if you want to sound smart, their defense is why they're so crazy good. I mean, on top of that, they scored. Not only are they better on offense, but they're also better on defense. That's why they're one of the best teams of all time. And the dynasty continues. It's weird that they were the young upstart, and then they were annoyingly good, and they got Kevin Durant, and they were like going back to the dark side, and now we are at the point in the 5-act hero arc where they're redeeming themselves after being assholes. They had some actual adversity, and they're coming back from it, and I kind of like them now. That's how it goes. Steve Kerr is a folk hero because of his stance on guns. Speaking of his stance on guns, before we get to the NHL playoffs, let's do gun stuff. This is Herschel Walker, who I believe is running for Senate in the state of Georgia, and he has a solution for the mass shootings.
The person wielding that weapon, Cain killed Abel, and and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. He talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at just social media? What about?
So he said a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at social media. That's the quote from Aaron Rupar. Aaron is a notable annoying, but here we go.
By doing that, looking into things like that, and we can stop that way. But yet they want to just continue to talk about taking away your constitutional rights. And I think there's more things we need to look into. This has been happening for years.
Well, I'll say this about Herschel. He wants to get elected. It's the right thing to say in Georgia. Okay. Should we go to the NHL playoffs? Carolina Hurricanes, they're amazing. They have not won a game on the road in the playoffs, which you need to do unless you're really highly seeded, which they are. They are the highest seed remaining in their conference. They have not won a game on the road, but they have not lost at home, which makes them 3-2 in the series. They dummied the Rangers last night. I think it was 1-1 at a certain point. They just look good, man. That crowd, it really is. It's the closest thing to college sports right now in the United States. That crowd is bananas. People jumping up and down, people chugging beers. Like, Nashville got really into it too. The South is just, I don't know how to say this to other people around the country. The South just cares more about sports. They just do. The Suns were fun last year, but Phoenix and Miami, the where it is good at college football, it is also crazy and fun at everything. The best athletes, I swear to God, in this country come south of Kentucky, east of the Mississippi, from the Atlantic Ocean. Like that, the bottom right-hand corner of the U.S. is where sports happen in this country, I swear to God. And they just care. And it's epic, and it's showing. And also Broad Brendan Moore needs to coach better. But it's fun. Battle of Alberta time. Huge controversy. Let's turn your phone sideways and watch on Spotify to watch this. We had a goal disallowed with 5 minutes left in the third. So I'll set the scene. It's the Battle of Alberta. which is a Canadian province for those of you who don't care about Canada. It's where the oil is. It's not the pretty one like British Columbia, and it's not the one with Toronto and Montreal. It's one of the ones in the middle, and it's where the oil is. So, like, where's the oil in the U.S.? Like, kind of by the mountains and in the Great Plains. It's like that, but up. It's up of Montana. It's up of Idaho, right up there. Calgary was like 20,000 people in 1900-something, and now it is over 1 million. So, oil boom, right? The Flames and the Oilers. Do you get it? Okay, so they obviously hate each other. They have not, though, met in the playoffs in like 40 or 50 years. Gretzky played for the Oilers. Some dude named McDonald, whose mustache matched the uniforms, played for Calgary. Yeah, anyway, so they're playing now, and the Flames are really good. They're one of the highest seeds in the NHL playoffs. They're the number 2 seed overall in the West, and the number like 4 or 5 seed in the playoffs, like top third of the playoffs. The Oilers have 2 of the greatest players on the planet. They signed a guy who got kicked out of the league for 25 games or 20-something games because he faked a COVID vaccine. He also has gambling debt. He's Evander Kane. You know, he's an up-and-coming guy. So that's the scene. The first game, Calgary beats Edmonton 6-9. Gross. Since then, the series has been essentially that, which has been gross. Remember, a couple days ago, we made fun of the goalie Mike Smith for letting in a clearing attempt as a goal. That's the Edmonton goalie let in like the worst goal I've ever seen in the history of hockey. So, game 5. Calgary's backs are against the wall. They're down 3-1. We are in another shit show game. There have been 4 goals in less than 3 minutes of hockey time. In the third period, 4 minutes left in the third, and Calgary's rushing the net. Guy makes a centering feed. Puck goes in. Upon further review, it looks like he kicked it, which is against the rules. But if the puck goes in off of your skate as you're stopping, it is not against the rules. You can stop a puck into the net. And if you've never played hockey, it's swish, 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 and you turn your skate sideways and shush, stop. You just slice the ice to stop. So I'm going to play it for you, and we'll watch it.
Get that puck
so right there is the puck. Boom. So does he kick it, or does he stop it into the ice? Right? Gross attempt from the goalie. Right there. And if you can't see it, listen on Spotify or watch on YouTube.
It's a distinct kicking motion.
Okay, is it a distinct kicking motion? Show the overhead view. Okay, here it is.
At first
all right, here comes the puck. Right, see the puck right there? All right, there's that. All right, up. Watch, does he stop or does he kick it? One more time. I'll turn the thing off. They ruled that no goal. This would have given Calgary a 1-goal lead with 4 minutes left. They lose in overtime. And the series is over. I will be honest with you. First of all, NHL rigged is pretty bad for Canadian teams, but this would be Canada on Canada crime. Connor McDavid is the biggest star in hockey right now. Well, Sidney Crosby is, but Connor McDavid isn't a budding star, so you go say, well, do you want McDavid? Like, I think it's pretty well rigged for all of Canada. Canada's got like 7 number 1 overall picks in the last 12 years or something from a quote-unquote lottery. But this right here, I think he heels that puck into the net, man. I think it's a kick. Because I played hockey, not at this level, but I played hockey well enough to know I never seen an NHL player stop like that. Because, like, if he wanted to stop, but he's losing his balance, I don't know, man. I don't know, but people are going to be talking about it. I think it was a good goal. That's just my take. It was a big to-do. Huge to-do in the National Hockey League. Was it a goal? Was it not a goal? I don't think it matters. I mean, there's nothing saying that Edmonton wouldn't have scored and come back anyway. We saw St. Louis just come back. St. Louis and Colorado, I believe they play tonight, along with Boston and Miami in basketball. Those games happen around 8 p.m. The Blues, they were down 3-1. It's 3-2 now. I fully expect the Avalanche to come back and win that game at some point. They are very good. They blew a game from Nate McKinnon. It was really great. Also in the news, and I kind of want to dive deeper into this at a certain point, the United States women's national soccer team and the United States men's national soccer team. I don't know what happened, but I know that the equal pay that a lot of people have been worried about happened. I know that happened. I don't know the details. I haven't read into it. I'm trying to live my life. I'm trying to make some money. But I'm going to look into it. It's one of those things where I want to sit down with a cup of coffee and not have anything to do on Saturday morning when I'm hungover and be like, all right, what the hell is this? And I'm going to do it. We'll talk about that. Like, rate, review, subscribe. We'll be back and better than ever on Monday morning.